What's up, Mom? I know, I'm just about as done with this shitty anime as you are. Don't worry though, this will be the last video I make on these people unless they call me the N-word. So as you guys know, or don't, I made this video about 2 weeks ago calling out Black the Anime for allowing a pedophile slash groomer to work with them, all the while their employees lie about who he is and what he did to keep what he did a secret. They just fucking lied about him. After my video, things on their server got stupid. I'm talking about Greg left, Megan left, Shino left, and got doxxed, and I even got my own server. Who would have thought? But basically what they did, or tried to do, was everything they thought I would want to happen, and that would have worked, except what these people don't realize, everyone tells me everything. So just because I don't want this to be another 30-minute video, and it might be, who cares, I'm just going to tell you everything straight up and even show you more evidence of why Greg is a piece of shit. So real quick, Megan, Shino, and some retarded Asian guy are still trying to convince people that Marcos did nothing wrong and that my first video was just one big lie. I even saw them firsthand saying shit like this to Emmy on their server. Before I get more into that though, I do want to go over Marcos's apology slash statement, which is honestly probably one of the worst things I've ever had the displeasure of reading. And I don't read. Actually, what I want to do is tell you what happened after my video, then the apologies, and then the aftermath that followed. So literally within minutes of me uploading my video, one of their members, Quackhead, decided to basically just shut down the server. He basically made it so where no one could type unless you had a high enough roll, and seeing this, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, I don't want the server to get raided because of your stupid video. His words, not mine. And I'm like, why would you want to protect this server from anything? That basically means you're defending Greg. And he's like, how am I defending Greg? Show proof that I'm defending Greg. And I'm like, you're doing it. And he's like, how am I defending Greg? Show proof. And I'm like, you're doing it. He then randomly started to say that I'm a pedo, and I'm like, oh cool, when's the video gonna upload on that? And eventually he ends up getting banned, but again, that's just something they thought I would want to happen. As you can see, he's back on the server with all his roles. So yeah, like I said, the next day, or maybe a few days later, I'm getting these DMs telling me that Greg is back, he's talking to Shino, and he's banning everyone that I shouted out in my first video. I even get this screenshot from Greg's alt account saying, y'all realize when Greg's redemption arc begins, most of the mods are going to be banned. And I'm like, really? It hasn't even been a week and y'all are back on your bullshit already? Long story short though, Shino got doxxed and became an even bigger pussy than he already is, and then a few days later, Megan randomly types this on like a server with 12 people. LMAO, I left Black. How come? Hiroshi Man is an asshole, and to be honest, people are just going to say I was in support of Greg until I leave, and like, I have no reason to be there anymore. Spoilers, she still supports Greg. All of them do. That's why I didn't even bother reading your statement, because I knew I'd be right here at this exact moment making this exact video. But after Megan left the server, here's where things got really stupid. Marcos actually dropped his gay little character and actually was serious for 1 second. But that's it. And by that I mean he tries his hardest with no evidence to back up anything he says to prove me and Emmy wrong. Mostly just Emmy, because they think I came up with some of this information. I'm telling you what she told me. This is also kind of long, so bear with me. I might not even read all of it, to be honest, but the beginning says, I am not here to make any excuses. I know what I've done is irredeemable, and I know that this is a mistake that hurt multiple people, my friends included. I have wronged not only those around me, or the fans, or the show, but also people who put their trust in me. I also want to severely apologize to M. Everything I am going to say is the full uncut truth. I know Emmy and Plantation Soup are saying a lot of slanderous claims and false allegations against me, but I am here to debunk all of them with hardcore evidence and unbiased proof that show the full picture. Now mind you, there are no fucking pictures in this whole thing, so this unbiased proof is about as solid as a paraplegic's legs. This man really thinks adding spice words like slanderous claims and hardcore evidence makes him right. The only thing that's hardcore about you is your love for underage girls. I intended on making a new friend, and I was not the initial case of the relationship initiating, as M was the instigator in showing deep feelings for me at first. Also, this is his grammar. I just copied and pasted it, so if my English sounds fucked, that's because his English is fucked. We have never exchanged nudes, but just saying that I love you to a 15-year-old as an 18-year-old is still very serious and just as bad. So along with being an idiot, he's also an idiot. He's really trying to say that the reason they were in a relationship was because M had feelings for him first. She's 15. That should tell you not to act on those feelings. And she did send you a nude, and you did masturbate on FaceTime with her, you piece of shit. I do know why I allowed this though, and began to learn more about myself as a result. My despairing and envious traits are the main cause of my past actions. So real quick, this is not one of those times where you want to sound smart. You're just confusing people. What he basically said was he didn't know that he had an attraction to young girls until he started dating one. This man said my despairing and envious traits like he's trying to win a fucking writing contest. What are you doing? None of what I said was done out of malicious intent or for grooming purposes, but they are still unforgivable. The text messages I've said, such as I prefer lingerie, is vile, and I knew this, but I said it anyways because I really did want a relationship, and seeing others get along so well caused me to become desperate and irrational. Now I'm gonna stop right there because, as you can see, there are no pictures proving me wrong at all. If him just saying I'm wrong makes me wrong, then fuck it. I'm right. But now I'm going to show you guys his second attempt at proving me and Emmy wrong, and this one was actually made on Google Slides. But the first slide says, proof against the false allegations. Andy said some false allegations against me, so I'm going to list them off and make my statement on them. So he said Andy said some false allegations, like I didn't get all my info from the girl he fucked with. He also called me Andy, like he doesn't know my real name. That's an 0-2 start before we even started. Regardless, the first slide says dating. Me and Em were in a relationship, but we're never actually dating. Okay, the things that may prove their point correct are things I've said such as I love you and I prefer lingerie, but those are things I casually say to anyone, even my homies. The fact that that was their only evidence they had to back them up is ridiculous because it can easily be taken out of context, and even if it was, they still don't prove their point well at all. So right away, that first sentence gave me diabetes just reading it. Me and Em were in a relationship, but we're never actually dating? What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, I smoked weed, but I never actually got high. Yeah, I drank beer, but I never actually got drunk. This man really said I was in a relationship with a 15-year-old girl, but I was never in a relationship with a 15-year-old girl. He then says, or actually admits to saying, I love you and I prefer lingerie to Emmy, but don't worry, that's okay because he says that stuff to the homies. Only you didn't say that, did you, Marcos? You said, I prefer lingerie that teases to a 15-year-old girl you were in a relationship with. He also says that what I've shown can be taken out of context. Well, what about this? You talk to the homies like this, you gay asshole? Shut the fuck up. FaceTime. Me and Em did FaceTime a few times. During those times, we just talked and slept on call. I do this with my friends all the time as well. I didn't know it was weird to sleep on call until I got called out for it. Sometimes I just pass out without me even realizing it. The worst part is there's no way to prove Andy's claim incorrect as there's no actual recording, but there is proof in the DMs that we did sleep and talk during the FaceTiming. The reason why Andy made such a broad accusation about me doing that on FaceTime and not any other social platform is because it's near impossible to debunk, and he knew this. Still, it's the DMs that talk about the FaceTime as proof against a false allegation that cannot be backed up by evidence. Alright, so when you say you FaceTimed a few times, were you talking about these 20 plus times you FaceTimed her in a 3-day period? And I never said anything about you sleeping on FaceTime. Nobody gives a shit about that. We care about you masturbating on camera with this 15-year-old girl, to which your own words, there is no way to prove Andy's claim incorrect. Because I'm right. You want to know why? Because all you're saying is no, and all these screenshots are like, yeah, you did do that, didn't you? He's also trying to make it seem like I used FaceTime because it's impossible to debunk. No, I said FaceTime because Emmy showed me the FaceTime calls and said FaceTime. You probably, when you were talking about lingerie, that was on Discord, but what the fuck is your point? And my name is not Andy. And also, I did have proof backed up by evidence, as shown in the 30-minute video of me showing proof backed up by evidence. That was about you. Moving on to wallpaper, and this one is really fucking stupid, so bear with me while I read this and then jump off a building right after. Andy claimed that Emmy showed me a picture of her top half and I put it as my wallpaper. The reason why she made such a crazy allegation is because I use Wallpaper Engine constantly and I change wallpapers almost every day. She knew this, and so she said this because my friends know about my wallpaper condition as well. She is trying to pin my friends and other people in the server who know about my wallpaper addiction against me. Once again, Andy doesn't have any proof to back up his slanderous claims while I do. Emmy mentions how I sent the photo to Hiroshi-man as well, and in his DMs there is no mention of a wallpaper or photo. She also claims that I have a laptop, which is not true. I don't even own one, and that just shows that she will say whatever it takes to make a false accusation, give her as much clout and publicity as possible. Alright, so I'm not gonna sit here and let this fucking pedophile try and blame a wallpaper engine on why he put an underage girl's nude as his wallpaper. I like stickers and pussy. You don't see me with a big fucking vagina sticker on my wall, do you? And what the fuck is a wallpaper addiction? Not only that, how can you say I didn't show any proof? Where's yours, asshole? You literally have no proof. Your proof is saying that you have proof. You're fucking with me, aren't you? Also, all three of them, meaning Megan, Lassen, and Shino, were like, Greg never had a laptop, and because you said that, that makes your whole video a lie. So I'm like, Emmy, they said Greg didn't have a laptop. And then before I even said that, Megan already messaged her to try and clear things up. And she's like, why would you say that? And Emmy was like, well, it was a long time ago, but I know he did have the picture as his wallpaper, you dumb slut. Or I mean Megan. Then, because this is a perfect time for a joke, Megan sends Emmy this Google Slides on why they should bring Marcos back, like they were gonna laugh together and forget all about their problems. I hope your future child is in a similar situation to the one Emmy was in, Megan, and then they talk to someone who they think is close to them, and then they laugh in their fucking autistic face. Oh yeah, did I mention I want your child to be born with autism? I also don't understand how they can say I'm doing this for clout when they constantly ask me to add videos of themselves into my videos. It's honestly really weird. I did do it a few times, but he just keeps asking me to add videos of Lassen into my videos like I'm actually gonna do it. But anyways, now for the conclusion and then the shitstorm that followed. I know I messed up by saying sus things, but in all honesty, I am not the victim here. False allegations and thousands of people are now attacking me for something I didn't even do. The text messages are real, but those are texts that aren't even that bad and things I say on the daily. The fact that people are calling me a pedo and a groomer for saying I like lingerie is ridiculous because seriously, who doesn't? They could have gotten away with making all these lies too if I didn't have hardcore evidence to debunk all their false claims. People can see me as whoever they want to. I'm just glad I got my point across and that none of what they said was factual. All the while, I have full-ass DMs and Discord and Snapchat datas to back myself up while all they have are 2 screenshots and words. All I've easily debunked. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see those datas that he has to prove me wrong, you know what I mean? But this man really said 2 screenshots like this was 2 screenshots. If my math is correct, and we add all these to those 2 screenshots, we have about 14 screenshots, not to mention all the other screenshots I showed in my other video. He also doubles down and says that these messages right here, read them carefully. This is an 18-year-old talking to a 15-year-old. He says these are things he says on the daily and that they aren't even that bad. Yeah, maybe on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I also like how he says they could have gotten away with it, like he was in an episode of Scooby-Doo. You literally have no pictures in any of your apologies, and you're saying that I'm trying to get away with something. All your sources are literally, trust me, bro. However, when they realized that I wasn't believing anything they were saying, they went on to plan B, which is Megan leaving and making it seem like Lassen was left to deal with everything by himself. However, again, what they still fail to realize is that 70% of the people they work with, I would even say about 80%, tell me everything. And basically what I'm about to show you is almost everything these guys have said in order to hide the fact that Greg is still working with them. If you don't want to watch the rest of my video to see all the proof that can easily be disproven by words, I'm gonna just tell you right now, Greg, aka Marcos White, is still working for Black the Anime. I know there are a few artists who don't think Greg is on there anymore, but this is his new account. I know Shino, Megan, and Lassen have probably told you that Greg is gone and they're done with him, but they're not. And you guys are drawing and voice acting for someone who showed his dick to an underage girl, and all he can say is no about it. All they care about is having artists, even going as far as to ask the girl who helped me make my first video to color in some scenes because she's an artist and they're just that desperate. There are a few more things they're lying about, but Greg is 100% still working with them. Here's just one screenshot that was given to me confirming that, but as always, they're probably going to say this is fake, but now let's look at the rest. So one thing they did after my video was make a separate server just for the artists because they realized I can contact the ones on their server without a problem. Here's a screenshot showing Megan and Lassen in the staff server, here's one where Lassen's online, and here's a screenshot of Greg talking to Emmy about drawing something, only Greg didn't know it was Emmy. So already I have proven without a doubt that Greg is still working for them and is on their other servers. But after I found this out, I called out Lassen in front of everyone and I'm like, why is Greg on the staff server when you guys said you were done with him? And he's like, what staff server? And I'm like, this one. And he's like, I communicate with artists through DMs. I don't need a server. Well, that's funny because along with that staff server, y'all made another server where all of you are on. And after I messaged Greg this, he left the server. But then Lassen says, not my server, not my problem. And this pissed me off. Not that he was lying, he always does that, but that people are actually believing his lies after I posted proof he was lying. Like right now, only the idiots on their server believe what they're saying, but the thing is, 99% of the people on there are idiots. The 1%, you know who you are. But as you can see, Lassen will do whatever it takes to deny the fact that he still has contact with Greg, just so people don't think he likes to associate with pedophiles. Too bad he does, and he will continue to as long as y'all are believing his bullshit. He is fully aware of what's going on, and again, like I said, he mocks Emmy to her face like this is just one big fucking joke. But after this happened and Lassen was left with nobody, this new guy Wrath popped up, and at first I'm like, let me just message this guy and be like, here's what's up and here's what I've been doing. He then tells me he knows Lassen from school and that he's just doing this for money, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not even gonna start with you. A couple days go by, and then one of their artists DMs me this: if someone by the name Suitman DMs you, please block him. He does not know what he is talking about. And then you can even see Greg be like, isn't that the dude trying to grab IPs? Basically just doing whatever it takes to make sure no one talks to me. I then DM Wrath, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this about? And he's like, you're just an asshole trying to take our unlimited supply of artists. And I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? And he's like, well, you are. I don't know what to tell you. I then talked to him a few more times, and eventually phase 3 of their plan gets set into action, which is bring everyone back, starting with Shino. You remember Shino? He's the guy who asked Emmy to lie about what happened to her so we can protect Megan and not the girl who was getting groomed. Yeah, that guy. Well, he comes back and acts like he didn't do anything wrong. He even says dumbass shit like this, referring to what happened to Emmy. He also got my Suitman account disabled for doxing, as if that was going to do anything. And here's why I use the quotations around doxing. So this was on my alt account, but you can see here that Shino says he leaked the address himself and that he lies about everything. I then call him out on the black server, and he says shit like this, and what they are saying about Greg are mere allegations. And it's like, since when? And this doesn't stop. If you even mention Greg to them, they'll lie and tell you that he's not on the server anymore. And it's like, then why is he on every other server you guys made? Everything these guys say can be disproven with a simple screenshot. But that doesn't stop them. Megan, for instance, the attention whore herself. She'll act like she doesn't care, but then waits for me to leave so she can say shit like this, so I won't get a chance to say, shut the fuck up, you lying bitch. Greg was dating a 15-year-old and we didn't know. The 15-year-old told this active guy who was a YouTuber. The YouTuber made a whole plot against us, and all the actives who were mods were with him. He made a video with honestly a ton of false shit, false perspectives, because he wouldn't listen to ours. And honestly, he didn't listen to anything we said. He made a new server with all the really active, and they left and went with him. We dropped Greg after we found out. So first off, you can suck my fat fucking pussy. I didn't steal anyone from you. Greg banned everyone, and then they came to my server. Did you forget that you also helped me set up my server? Why didn't you do anything then? I don't even need to show a screenshot to disprove the rest of what she said. We dropped Greg. Then why were you in a VC with him and all the other people spreading lies about me? And this was like 3 days ago recent. That message was yesterday, so you can see they have no plan on stopping. I do have one more thing I want to go over, and hopefully this will put the nail in this anime coffin that will shut these guys up for good. So about 2 weeks ago, when they heard I was going to make a part 2 video, they were doing anything to try and get me to stop. Kind of like in part 1 where Shino said he'd meet up with Emmy in real life if I didn't make the video. Only this time Lassen was the one making the deal, and just like everything I've been saying, I have screenshots to prove me right and them wrong. But basically Lassen messaged Emmy in an attempt to get me to stop making this video, and unlike Shino, who told Emmy a somewhat believable lie, Lassen was just like, yeah, let's just go fucking stupid with it, you feel me? Now this is a long conversation, so I'm gonna just show you the highlights. First off, we have Lassen like, you helped me way more than you probably know. Because of you, I have officially full ownership of the server. Greg had full ownership of the server and had access to my TikTok as well, but you gave me a valid reason to kick him out, even if it was a lie or not. So already, he's not even 5 DMs deep, and he's trying to make it seem like the video she helped me make was helpful to him. He continues by saying, yeah, well, ever since we got clout and money, I was planning on getting rid of him. What? Why? Why not share it? Because he was useless. The fact that not only I got clout off of this, but I got him kicked out too, it's literally perfect. I already have other influencers trying to move in, like that could make their own money. So as you can see, he keeps on with this bullshit and then thinks the asshole technique is the way to go. I guess he got us a little views with your grooming situation, but I have to thank you for that because you probably initiated it. He's not coming back. Ever. He sent you nudes. His life is ruined. It was on FaceTime, okay? Still, that idiot is gone forever. I have enough money and power to replace him. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is fucked up. Not only is he admitting to Greg doing all the stuff they deny he said he did, but he's also taunting her saying that he has enough money and power to replace him. He then tries to recruit her as an artist and says, cool, thanks again. I'm down to give you a job. And she's like, why? And he's like, it will piss him off if you're an artist, and I hate his guts. They then go back and forth and end up here. Did he tell you he was in an illegal immigrant, he wouldn't lie to me. No, he didn't, because he's not. Yeah, he is, and he's going to get deported, so that's why I had to lie about his birthday. So I'm gonna just stop right there because the rest of the DMs are basically just him trying to convince Emmy that either I say he's an illegal immigrant or he does in 14 days. But the reason I'm stopping here is because I was on the other staff server they made, and I randomly put this thinking, haha, nice joke, they're gonna read it and get mad. Shino, so are the rumors about Greg being an illegal immigrant true, and can I say that in my video? What I didn't expect was for the message to get deleted and for Shino to say this. Add me back. I need to know who told you that. I don't need people sharing rumors like that. So I think I said it earlier when I said all of what Lassen says can be disproven with one screenshot. And actually, this was my second time typing this because I actually wanted to test it out. And after I typed this the second time, I got banned from the server. I then DM'd Shino the picture of Lassen saying that, and he's like, keep the story about what it was supposed to be about. And what's that, Shino? Everything but the stuff that exposes you for being lying pieces of shit, manipulators, and pedophile defenders? Like, all three of them basically admitted to everything that went down just because of how much they lied. Like, one of their big things was that Emmy wasn't groomed, and Emmy didn't really think that at first too, but she wanted me to make that clear that she realizes what was going on. At first she told me like she didn't feel like she was getting groomed, but after she talked to more people about what happened to her, she actually realized that that is exactly what was going on. Like right now, there shouldn't be any doubt that most, if not all of what Megan, Lassen, and Shino said are lies. If by now you don't believe me or Emmy, then I'm sorry, you're just fucking stupid. We have the bullshit apologies, proof that Greg isn't gone, more proof that Greg is a fucking weirdo, lying, manipulating, more lying, a TikTok that was made of me like I don't make fun of myself. Also, apparently they have an exposed video on me coming out after mine, which is I guess why they wanted to know the release date for mine so bad. I shit you not, Shino sent me a video of Megan with smoke coming out of her mouth in exchange for me telling him the release date of my video. The fact that he actually thought I would tell him the real date is hilarious. I'm actually kind of curious as to what they're going to expose me for. I mean, unless I've had a relationship and shown my dick to an underage girl, I'm fine with what y'all have on me, especially if you're trying to make it seem like I'm worse than Greg. Hiroshiman also let two people know that he already has new artists and a new pureblood gang leader team at his school, so if you go to his school and or just want to work on this anime, don't. Because if you do, you're only showing them that it's okay to do what he did and still get what he wants. These guys don't deserve to have any artist draw for them, especially when they make it damn near impossible for me to contact them and let them know what's really going on and who they're working for. Thank you to everyone who helped me on this video and the first video. I was going to thank you individually, but there were just way too many of you, but just thank you so much for all you guys' help, especially Emmy. If you know any artists who are working for them, just send them my video or go on their server and let people know what's going on, because you wouldn't believe how much that helps just because of how much lies they're spreading on their server. Like, they already contacted two people who helped me make my first video thinking they would draw for them. Hopefully they don't, and hopefully you never will. Of course, now that this video is out, they're going to try and finesse their way out of this situation, but hopefully you guys can come to your senses and not fall for their bullshit once again. Remember, Greg, aka Marcos White, is still working on the anime and denies all of what I just showed you. Once again, thank you to Emmy and everyone else who helped me on the video. Some spoilers for their exposed video on me. I'm pretty sure, no, I know I called Lassen a chink because he wanted me to, and then he shut the fuck up after I did it like I really wasn't going to call him that. I also think I called their autistic friend autistic. Or maybe something worse, I don't care. Once again, I can't thank all of you who helped me enough, and thank you, Emmy. Hopefully this is all done with.